Hi class, we're Team 4 and we did our IMC team project on the UNL Campus Recreation Center. I'm Luke Linder. My teammates are Simran Sohi, Derek Niewohner, Jonathan Williams, and Stephanie Shipp. So for our project we did an analysis of the UNL Campus Recreation Center and an overview of their marketing strategy. And we found some suggestions for improvement that they can use to further encourage students to use their on-campus activity classes and 4-credit courses that they offer. So here's just an overview of our project. I'll start off by giving you an introduction both to our project and to the UNL Rec Center itself. We'll then give a business analysis. We'll show some of the research that we conducted on campus to get to our results. We'll then show you our MRKT program that we developed after our research and analysis. And finally, we'll give you our program execution. So to start off as kind of an introduction to the Rec Center itself, as for the organizational structure of the Rec Center, it's not considered to be an academic unit of the university. Instead, it operates on its own and has to get its own monetary funding through its activity courses and other fees, which makes it even more important for them to have a solid marketing program to market to their students so that they can generate funds to continue operation. As of now, in a given semester, they offer between 55 to 70 classes, and they generally operate on a pass or no pass basis for either 0, 1, or 2 credit hours. And there's no funding provided by the university general budget, which is one of the reasons we saw that it was even more important for them to have a solid marketing communication program. So just since they operate with the university, they have to go through an approval process for the 4-credit classes to be approved. So obviously it starts with the campus recreation proposing an idea for a 4-credit class. And after being proposed, it moves to the Nutrition, Exercise, and Health Science Departmental Curriculum Committee. And if they approve it, it moves up to the College of Education and Health Science Curriculum Committee. If approved by them, it moves on to the University Curriculum Committee. And finally, if approved by all 3 of these, it moves on to the UNL Board of Regents. So here's just an overview of the leadership that operates the Rec Center. Starting at the top, Stan Campbell is the director of the UNL Rec Center. Working under him is Senior Associate Director Deb Johnson. And she has 3 associate directors, starting with Rod Chambers, who is the Associate Director for Business Operations, Vicki Highstreet, who is the Associate Director for Recreation Programming, and finally Amy Lanham, who is the Associate Director for Facilities Planning and Operations. So next up, we'll have Derek give you an overview of the business analysis section of our presentation.
Thanks, Luke. Hello, everyone. My name's Derek Niewohner, and I acted as the client relations individual on this project. I'm going to give you a little rundown on the business analysis for campus recreation, in particular on 4-credit activity courses offered. Currently, campus recreation has 3 facilities: the Campus Recreation Center on City Campus. Across the street is the brand new Outdoor Adventure Center. And then on East Campus, we have what's called FFAB, which is the Fleming Field Annex Building. It's the temporary facility as they finish up the construction on the East Campus Recreation Center. This kind of gives you a little rundown of the offerings that they have available in terms of 4-credit activity courses. To give you a little history of 4-credit activity courses, originally these courses were offered through the HYPER division, which was Health, Physical Education, and Recreation. It has since been renamed to Nutrition, Exercise, and Health Science, or NEHS, in the College of Education and Human Sciences. Around the 1990s, Chancellor Spanier, who was Chancellor of the university at the time, decided that he didn't want faculty in CEHS to be teaching these elective courses. So he approached Campus Recreation and asked if they would like to take on this responsibility. And Vicki Highstreet, who I had the opportunity to discuss this topic with, who is the Associate Director for Recreational Programming, said that they took it head on. Currently, they offer about 55 to 70 classes per semester, and they usually max out at about 70 due to, as Ms. Highstreet stated, facility space. There's just a lack of facility space for the amount of classes they offer. Currently, they do not receive funding under Chancellor Spanier's designation from the general budget. So basically what that means is for every credit hour you pay for, it goes to this general fund, and Campus Recreation does not receive funds from that, even though these are 4-credit activities courses. So basically that's where the special fee comes in with these courses. With that fee, they pay instructors. They, particularly, let's say if it's a golf class, they will provide your equipment, they will pay the green fees, etc., etc. Also, they started hiring experienced personnel to teach these courses, so they're certified in these types of classes and courses. So not only are these individuals teaching the courses more qualified, but they're also more experienced, and they can give a little more depth behind what they're talking about. Here's a little kind of brief list of the 4-credit activity courses that Campus Recreation provides. Obviously, with outdoor education, you have things such as canoeing, backpacking, fitness, aerobic exercises, individual and dual activities such as bowling, and then even combative such as judo and karate. Moving into a brief SWOT analysis, we'll start with strengths. Obviously, there's a huge convenience factor, as you can gain 1 to 2 credit hours from taking an activity that you might already enjoy. Obviously, it helps meet degree requirements. Some, obviously within the Nutrition, Education, Exercise, and Health Sciences division, they're required to take at least 2 of these courses, so it helps them meet their degree requirements. And obviously there's a socialization factor. If you're taking a course on a subject that you already enjoy, it'll hook you up with other people who also enjoy that same activity. Moving to the weaknesses, there is a high cost, sometimes prohibitively high. Obviously, any credit hour on the university is going to cost you a little bit extra, so that could be a major hindrance. Also, there's an odd number of credit hours. They offer from 0 to 2 credit hours, so if you need 3 credit hours to finish your degree, 2 credit hours isn't going to cut it. And obviously scheduling. A lot of these courses are offered either early in the morning or later in the evening, so if you don't have time, whether you're studying or you have a job or anything like that, it can be prohibitive as to whether you're going to enroll in these 4 credit hour courses. Some threats, obviously, with local gyms and the local YMCA. They offer similar, if not almost identical, courses for limited prices or reduced pricing. Obviously, I don't think they have the same type of course offering list that Campus Recreation does, but obviously there is a significant threat there just from a budgetary standpoint. And finally, opportunities. If you have a lack of, personal training or physical training in your life, this offers a great opportunity for that, because you're getting credits for doing something physical, say canoeing or judo. Obviously, balancing course loads. Obviously, if you're taking 3 very academically prone, tough courses, supplementing that with a 4-credit activity course might help you balance your course load a little more easily. And finally, obviously, as college-age individuals, you're learning the lifestyles that you're going to take with you the rest of your life. So if by taking a course now and finding something that you love, you have the potential to bring that throughout your life and continue with it. So obviously that was a brief business analysis, and now I'm going to hand it off to Simran Sohi as she explains some of our research.
Thanks, Derek. My name is Simran, and I'll be talking about some of the research we did for this project. We distributed a survey asking participants about the frequency of use of their campus recreation facilities, if they had heard about the 4-credit courses, whether they had taken any of these courses, if so, which ones, and if they followed any of the UNL social media accounts. This survey was offered through the 3rd through the 9th of December, and we got 213 responses. This shows the breakdown of the general usage from our respondents, with about 40% going several days a week. In terms of the 4-credit usage, about almost 80% did not take these activities courses for credit. In terms of exposure to these courses, 73% had heard that these credit classes were available through the rec center. And of those who knew, 55% heard about it from other students. 43% heard about it on campus. Those that were advertised at the rec center was about 34%, and then 10% heard about it through social media. So the takeaway from this survey was that students do hear about this, and they predominantly hear about the courses from other students. There is a low amount of social media exposure, however there's a high awareness of the course offerings. In terms of the target market is the UNL students who wish to take these 4-credit classes through the campus recreation. There's a number of reasons why students might be motivated to do this. It could be a requirement for their degree. Some students may want to use it as a general elective to round out their schedule. These rec center classes offer certification for certain activities, and then also for self-improvement in ways to motivate students to get to the gym. As a UNL campus rec trainer, Tyler, said, students just want to learn more about fitness. In terms of current advertising, word of mouth is the primary method. The Rec Center has the social media page as a point of contact for the students that feature posts about upcoming events, information about courses, and event photo albums. Advisors also let students know if they need extra hours by suggesting these courses. The information is also available in the student bulletin and then also in the Rec Center facilities itself. However, there are some challenges in terms of the social media usage in that there is irregular posting on the site. The messages are inconsistent and there is little to no interaction with UNL students. On the other hand, the most successful posts seem to be the photo albums for events such as Big Red Welcome. Looking at the competitive analysis, there is little direct competition for these 4-credit classes because there's no other organization that can offer UNL credit for these type of activity courses. However, there is plenty of competition in terms of non-credit courses such as the YMCA, the Racquet Club, and the other non-credit courses at the Rec Center itself. All of these do not provide credit, however they are substantially cheaper than taking 4-credit courses through UNL. So looking at it more specifically, the YMCA is located downtown, so it's very close to campus, and they have a monthly membership. The classes for non-members can range from $27 to $80 per class. However, some of the classes are provided free with membership. So cost is a definite strength in using the YMCA. However, a weakness is that the YMCA does not offer those certification courses that the Rec Center does for credit. The Lincoln Racquet Club is located on the other side of town, so it is farther away from campus. It has a monthly membership, and a definite plus is that classes are free if you have a membership, so those fees are included. It's also located, even though it's located farther away, it might be good for commuter students or for students who just want to get away from the university environment. And then for the non-credit courses, it's a great option. They cost significantly less. You pay extra for the fitness passes and then also for the yoga passes, but those costs end up being less than the 4-credit classes would be. They also offer less pressure in terms that you're not being graded for it, and greater flexibility in when you actually want to go to the Rec Center. So these courses might be ideal for students who are looking for more flexibility in their hectic schedule and less stress. And now I'm going to pass it on to Stephanie, who's going to talk about the Marketing Communication Program.
Thanks, Simran. I'm Stephanie. I'll take you through the Marketing Communication Program. I worked on the research and the strategic elements for this project. We're not going to make any major changes to the target audience. The primary target audiences that we are going to go after are those who need the course for maybe elective credit or certification for summer jobs. The degree requirement, some students are required to take this through their department or for their course for the Memorandum of Studies. So the thing about that is that it's promoted already through the department, so of course they're part of our target audience, but they're not people that we're necessarily going to target. Or our secondary target audience are those who wish to improve their fitness routine or to get in better shape. UNL offers these 4-credit courses, and they're the only course that you can take in earned credit hours. There's a high level of instruction, so you're working with the instructor every week. There's a required time you go in. They keep track of your progress, and you're graded, so that brings some more initiative into the picture. And we're hoping to focus on a holistic focus of health with the University Health Center. And this would mean that we're focusing on mind, body, everything, the overall student well-being. So if you look at the chart on the right, we have YMCA as high quality, low price. You get pretty good instruction. It's not very far from campus. Low price, low quality, we put UNL non-credit courses. Of course, they're not necessarily low quality, but compared to the 4-credit course hours, you're not getting as much out of them. The UNL 4-credit courses, we put high quality, high price, of course, and Derek explained that to a certain extent. And then high price, low quality, we put the Lincoln Racquetball Club. It's not necessarily low quality. When I interviewed a representative from the Lincoln Racquetball Club, they said that you could go to as many courses as you like, whenever you want, which is very convenient, but that is not very consistent, and there's no one necessarily focusing on your workout or who's familiar with it and your progress and improvement. Setting objectives and measuring performance. We wish to increase social media interaction 30% by fall 2015, increase participation in campus events by course instructors and participants by 30% by fall 2015, which will, of course, increase word of mouth. To increase enrollment in 4-credit courses by 15% by spring 2016, and increase campus awareness of 4-credit courses 20% by spring 2016. And to measure these, we're going to use different tactics, really. Increasing social media interaction, that's easy to measure. You just use analytics for each social media network and maybe Google Analytics when it comes to where people are coming from. Participation in campus events, that's easy. We just compare what campus recreation was participating in to what they will participate in by fall 2015. Enrollment's easy to measure. We just basically take the enrollment before spring 2016 or before the campaign started, and then in spring 2016 again and compare the numbers. Campus awareness of 4-credit courses. We can send a survey out to students via different campus social media accounts, not just campus recreation, and see if the numbers have changed at all. And we would need to send a survey out now or use the survey that we've sent out for this project. The marketing budget, I'm not going to go over all this in a lot of detail just because it's a lot, but we want to mainly minimize expenses, and to do that we're going to utilize social media and then the in-house website. We also want to pair with University Health Center a bit to decrease cost, and this will help with taking a holistic approach to health and student well-being. And we want to maximize exposure with promotion and advertising, so a lot of PR tactics go across campus, and also a lot of posters and flyers, which will be relatively cheap to make. So for the advertising, we're going to, of course, create brochures, flyers, leaflets. We can just either go in half with the University Health Center, or we can get someone in-house, some of the part-time faculty or the interns, to create the designs. And if we use UNL printing services, we think it'll cost us about 35 cents each to make these. Product giveaways, we can use ASI and hand these out at PR events. Messaging, we're going to emphasize the expertise of the 4-credit instructors. We're going to incorporate fun into the copy a lot, because that's what students on the survey said. Media, this has already been mentioned, but we're going to use social media on campus promotional flyers and positive word of mouth. So I'm going to pass this off to Jonathan to discuss program execution with you.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Williams, and I'm going to continue the presentation with the program execution portion. So to establish momentum for this campaign, we're going to be basically rolling out in 3 phases. Phase 1, we're going to focus on reach and familiarization with the brand and with the opportunities that the UNL Campus Recreation Center offers in terms of 4-credit courses. We're going to highlight drop-in sessions, increase our social media exposure. Through Phase 2, we're going to encourage some 4-credit courses and enrollment and provide some of those incentives. And Phase 3, we're focusing here on fall 2015 with the new incoming freshman class during the Big Red Welcome Week. So Phase 1, we'll begin with placing posters in high traffic areas where these type of posters and will provide good exposure for the UNL Campus Recreation Center 4-credit offerings. We're also going to be pushing the social media campaign at this point, mainly looking for reach and exposure with students and familiarization with the 4-credit offerings that are available. During this time, from existing students and students that are following us on social media, we'll be looking for crowdsourcing improvements which the students would say that would encourage them to come back, re-enroll, or think that would encourage their friends to join the UNL Recreation Center's 4-credit offerings. As we roll through Phase 1, we're going to come into Phase 2 where we're going to start encouraging students to enroll in these classes. Now, this is going to be focusing on students that have already been at UNL for at least a semester, and basically, with the social media campaign, that's going to have pushed explaining our benefits that the course offers, that the UNL, Campus Recreation Center offers in terms of, our competitors such as the Y or the Lincoln Racquetball Club. We're also going to then offer free sessions, and these sessions will be of the 4 credit offerings. And the reason we're doing that is that we want the students to see for themselves the higher level instruction and the added value that's provided compared to the non-credit courses. Through this campaign, we're also going to be partnering with the University Health Center, and with their Movement Mondays, we'll be there at the booth with them with an instructor, and we're basically going to take that time to meet students, put a face to the brand, and get students further familiar with how a healthy lifestyle can be benefited from and enrolling in one of the 4 credit courses. Then we're going to go back to social media, and we're going to be reminding students all the way up to the time that classes close that there are spots available, and to encourage them to enroll in these courses so that they can get credit for living a healthy lifestyle. Throughout this whole phase, we're going to be incentivizing enrollment through different campaigns, through social media, and in person at the booths with the UHC. Finally, we're going to reach phase 3, where we're encouraging enrollment. This is really focused on getting those new incoming freshman students. And so we're going to be at the Big Red Welcome Week, and at that place we're going to be handing out flyers. We're going to have a booth set up, and also we're going to be utilizing social media. So we're going to be trying to connect with those new students as they're coming in. We're going to, going back to existing students, we're going to be using that social media campaign to encourage students to enroll. It's also going to be a great time for our instructors to go out to the classroom. So in a lot of the large entry-level courses and some of the 200-level courses, basically we have lots of incoming freshman students during the first week of class while there's still open enrollment. We're going to get those instructors out there to explain the benefits, basically also emphasize the amount of fun that can be had while getting credit for those courses. Now, these students are prime candidates, especially as they're freshmen, since they don't have many electives yet, and so this is going to be a great time to connect with them. Well, that wraps up our presentation today. We began with a brief introduction, followed by the business analysis. We went over some research, our survey methodology. Then we went into the marketing communication program, where we covered what the program is going to look like, what we're going to do, and the program execution on how we're actually going to roll that out to the UNL campus and make this a successful plan. Well, again, thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, let us know.